we got some sweet shit today, but it's super loud, so you probably won't hear me. You just have to go with visuals. Hey guys, Sean again, Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. Got a 16 Sierra 1500. It's not a normal Sierra, it's the all-terrain X. Let's go. Roll it to the wood and it flexed out. Rim so big and the windows black. Got the light bulb lit up, double chromed out stacks. Yeah, we love to get them dirty, but still they so clean. Custom Offsets team stands as the team. We on top of it now. We ain't never gonna fade, so you better get ready. We're taking over the game. You guys are probably going to see a little bit of my bias today because I've never seen one of these in person, and I definitely am in love with it. It's the 2016 GMC Sierra 1500, but if you check out the badges on it, this is the all-terrain X. So this truck comes with a lot of these add-on aftermarket e-parts as part of the package that they've put together for it. So you can see it's got the step-up tubes, it's got the razor backs. For this one, he added more to the suspension. So the stock suspension, it sounds like, is pretty much like a Z71. So this is the Silverado Sierra Z71 High Country version of the Sierra 1500 all-terrain X. So they've got like the Z71 suspension stock, and then it's also coming with the frills and thrills and lots of options. So you can see that for suspension, he went up another 4.5 inches. So he added the Zone 4.5-inch lift to this one. And then he also added the Moto Metal 970s. And you can see that he went with the 970 that's got the milled edges all the way around. So if you remember, this one's got the machined faces, or you can go with the all black, or you can get the milled edges. And this one is the milled edges. And that is an 18 by 10, -24. So if you look at our build test, you can see that's probably about 4 inches. So it's a good solid 10-inch wide -24 with that 4-inch lip, which is pretty much perfect for a 4.5-inch lift when you're talking, you know, the square wheel wells of the Chevys or GMCs. And you can see for tires, it's a 33 12.5 by 18, or 18, 33 12.5 R18. And he went with the Atturo Trail Blade MTs. So on a 4.5-inch lift, you didn't have any trimming, did you? No. Does it rub at all?
Going backwards.
Just backwards, cranking out of a driveway?
I got wheel space in the back.
Okay. 2-inch?
1.25 inches.
1.25 inches? Did you have to cut your studs in? Okay. Real-time interview, folks. That's why it's nice when we have the owners here. So in the front, he's saying no rub at all, no trimming whatsoever on a 4.5 with that 10-inch wide 33 12.5. And then only backing out of a driveway. So when you give it that full crank and you're pounding out of a driveway, what happens is the suspension just moves, it pushes back, and it'll rub sometimes either back there, or you'll catch the very bottom of this valence, maybe the inside of here. But a lot of times it's not enough to bother trimming it because you just live with it and then you don't have to trim the vehicle at all. So the other thing you heard or probably didn't hear is that he did the 1.25 inch spacers in the rear. And the reason is the front lift likely pushed out the fronts. So then he wanted to push out the rears so that they'd be flush. So Junior, if you go down the front, you can look down the front of that truck and see that he's pretty square now with how much he's got the wheels and tires sticking out. So what happens is when you do an 1.25 inch, it becomes a big enough spacer that it actually becomes an adapter. So what happens is you'll bolt that onto your existing lugs, and then it'll have its own studs coming out. So that's at that point switches to being an adapter. And what happens is because the studs are about 1.75 inches long, the 1.25 inch spacer doesn't take up the full stud. So you've got to trim all of those studs so that they don't poke through the spacer and then keep the wheel from going on. So what he has is adapters and trim studs to get it to have that nice consistent squared up look. But if you check this out, it's like a Razorback headache rack. I'd call it a Razorback more than anything. I love it. I think it's awesome. They bolted a 3-dimensional colored back plate on there. Looks amazing. And then the tail lights on the GMC Sierras, the 16s, are really sexy. It's almost like a smoked out cleared lens with lots of cool shit going on. Is that an aftermarket tip, or did they put that on there too?
It's got a different the GM.
Okay, that's all part of the package. It's got a performance exhaust. So it's got performance exhaust. I don't know if you saw the tip. Did you show them a startup video? Yep, so you saw the clip of it running. They've got the projector headlights, of course, with the GMC Sierra LED surrounds, and then the LED fogs. This to me is sexy. I love the hood design is super aggressive. And then with the black accent where they dip the grille. That's just plain sexy. Window tint, he's got 20% up front to match. So it basically matches up the front and rear. Tonneau cover, you can see he's got the low pro. So it sits nice and flush. Soft cover, it's got a really clean look to it. It's got a super badass sticker on the back window. An even cooler one on the front window. And then for interior, because this is their higher end package, it's got a really slick looking interior. You can see it's got almost like a carbon fiber pattern, leather on the outside edges for trim. And then the centers are just a black leather. And you can see it's got the larger screen and everything. All black and digital dash. Super, super clean truck. It's sexy, Junior. Get in there. Get right in there. And then on the, it looks like it's got a red stitch, which is cool, matching up with that Sierra on the back, Razorback. And then door panel, same thing. You'll see the red stitch, and it's got a carbon fiber to the leather here, and then it's also got a carbon fiber to the accents. Super sexy. Well played, GM, well played. I know you guys are mad that I like Chevys and GMs, but we got some spotlight videos coming up of some Toyotas and some H1 Hummers, and we just did a Ford and a Dodge and a Cummins, so get over it, we're doing our best. Again, Sean, Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us, make sure you share our stuff, make sure you tell us what you want to see. Do whatever you want, tell us whatever you want, we'll keep doing what you tell us to. Peace.